Margo's mayor is facing a possible recall. We spoke with the man behind the push live at 5 p.m. He's Zach Gonzalez. He's helping to lead the charge to preserve land in northwest El Paso from development. Now, he has filed a recall intent letter with the city and now has 60 days to gather signatures. Those signatures have to equal 20% of the number of votes cast in the mayoral election. That's about 7,000. Now, Gonzalez accuses the mayor of using his personal email for city business and violating free speech at city council meetings, also breaking his campaign promise to hold the line on taxes.
They continue to raise them across the board for all El Pasoans, and so it's upset El Pasoans on all sides of the mountain because some of these amenities that they're trying to implement are for one side and not the other.
All right, and joining me now live from the Upper Valley is Mayor Margo. Mayor, thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and go through these allegations. We'll start with the taxes. You campaigned to hold the line on taxes, and it looks like the City Council is going to pass at least some kind of increase in the next 2 weeks. If it does, that would be 2 tax hikes under your leadership. How do you explain that?
Well, we walked into contractual obligations for police and fire that we voted on. And that's $15 million of the impact. There's not a whole lot I can do about something that we are contractually obligated to do. And unless the values are there, there's nothing else we can do. We're dealing with, nobody wants to pay taxes. I for sure don't want to pay any more taxes, but all we're trying to do is fulfill the basics. 77% of our budget is compensation payroll, and of that, 81% is police and fire. So there's really just not a whole lot of frivolous leverage there, and we have these contractual obligations that we have no choice with.
Now let's talk about the use of the personal email. You've said that you inadvertently used your private email for arena discussions a while back, but a concern has been raised that you also delete emails. That's what an unnamed city rep told the El Paso Inc. Do you delete emails containing important city business?
No, I do not. The bottom line is that yes, I made a mistake in the manner in which I responded, but I want the people to understand what I was responding to were personal emails sent to me by J.P. Bryan in the hopes that we would resolve the litigation and I would stop the bleeding of the legal fees to the city, which has exceeded $1 million already. And if I could do something to stop the bleeding of legal fees and settle this litigation, I will. But the emails were initiated by their side after our mediation. So all I was trying to do was, irrespective of being inadvertent using personal, he approached me under my personal email and I responded accordingly.
Now, Mayor, with the recall effort, there's also talk about transparency at City Hall. You have the emails, you also have the separation agreement you negotiated with the former city attorney, and your directive to characterize that departure as a retirement rather than a resignation. Do you see where the concerns about transparency come from?
Well, actually, I think it's a mischaracterization. People are terminated every day of the week, and it's referred to as a retirement or a resignation. So that's kind of an argument without any real basis, and everything we did was approved by City Council. So that's pretty baseless and bogus.
Mayor, does this push for a recall worry you at all?
No. I mean, I think it's kind of a waste of city's time and resources and the cost for it. As I said, Mr. Gonzalez has never come to see me. My understanding from people who have viewed social media have said that this is being pushed by Grossman and J.P. Bryan from Houston. So I think it's an abomination to have, an art history professor at UTEP who's hadn't even been here 9 years, backed by a Houston oil man trying to control our city. We're doing the best we can with what we have. We're making great progress. We're on the cusp of a real renaissance. There are lots of changes occurring, and I'm very optimistic with our council that we're moving forward. And to have these single issue people, and I'm really not sure why they're so focused on stopping the MPO, because 72% of us voted for it in 2012. And I believe it's my fiduciary responsibility, along with the rest of council, to make sure what we voted on is implemented.
Mayor, you say you think the city is moving forward. What are some of the things you think are going right with the city right now?
Well, I mean, you look at all the downtown, the hotels, coming in. We're getting more interest on in conventions and those things. We're going to have the lights all the way down from San Jacinto Plaza to the bridge this year for the holidays. We've got we've brought in new jobs. The Top Golf here is the #2 largest grosser Top Golf we have. Our sales tax revenues are up 5.2% for the year. We're growing. I mean, it's very positive. We have the #1 Dave & Buster's in the nation. People don't realize that. We have also the world's largest bilingual, binational, bicultural workforce with an average age of 31. We have more in resources here from a human capital standpoint than I believe there is oil in the Permian Basin. We just got to get the word out.
All right, Mayor Margo, thank you so much for being with us tonight.